I spent $1,300 at a game convention, and I basically have no memory of it. I traveled 6 hours, 2 states away, the distance from London to Paris. I arrived at the Southeast Game Exchange, proceeded to get a raging fever, and I walked around for 48 hours doing stupid crap that I don't remember and filming videos that make no sense. You and we're gonna watch the footage right now and see if we can break down the mystery of what the hell actually happened at the Southeast Game Exchange. Hey guys, I'm RNG Gamer. I play all my games randomly, and apparently I make bad decisions when I have a fever.
It's 7 a.m. I'm sick as a dog. We're at the Southeast Game Exchange. Today, the order of business is to find stuff other people are not looking for. We're looking for Wii stuff, especially the rail shooter games.
That's the intro I apparently made for the video I was planning on filming. And if that was the plan, I wasn't aware of it. Why would you go to a convention and buy a bunch of cheap crap that you can just find anywhere, just anywhere around town? I can find that cheap stuff anywhere. Wii stuff? What? You go to conventions to buy rare games, stuff you can't find anywhere else. But apparently I had a different plan. Let's see what happens next. So this is my attempt here to just take B-roll. If you guys know what B-roll is, it's just like videos of just the surroundings and the games on the table and on the shelf and at the convention and stuff that you intersperse throughout the video to try to like break the monotony of someone like me just talking the whole time. Why did I take a bunch of B-roll of just like nothing? These are like the booths next to where I just filmed the intro. There's no rhyme or reason to it. There's nothing really to show off here. There's nothing special. It's just like some stuff. And I was like, oh, I just want people to know I'm at a convention. You can see all this crap in the background in like every clip of this video probably. So why like go out of my way to do it? I take B-roll at every event I go to and I barely use it. No one seems to care. I mean, maybe that's why my convention videos are so bad. I don't know.
Well, here we have one of the more popular rail shooters on the Wii. This is Dead Space Extraction. I don't know how I managed to never pick this up, but I've heard good things. I've heard it's a little slow, but I'm excited to try it out. Let's see what they've got it at. 30. I'll see if I can make a deal on that. All right, well, we grabbed it. Dead Space Extraction. We got it for 25. It's about the going rate. So Dead Space for $25 was actually a pretty decent pickup. That's what it goes for, but this is a really clean copy. I mean, I'm thrilled with it. I got it from Two Dudes Gaming, and I do remember talking to the owner, and he's like, I'm not giving discounts to content creators this weekend, but he gave me $5 off. He's like, $5 is fine. This is a shovelware game, but it's a rail shooter. I've heard it's fairly decent. Nerf freaking N-Strike Elite. $3. We're just gonna pay $3 for it. I've had so many people tell me this is like a hidden gem.
What the actual crap? Why did I pick up this game? No one has ever told me this is a hidden gem. I don't know why I said that. Why would I say that? It is a light gun game on the Wii, and I guess I was just trying to get all of them, including the bad ones. I don't know, but I picked it up. It is Nerf N-Strike Elite. I paid $3 for it. Is that a bad pickup? That's a bad pickup, right? But yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. Why would you travel 6 hours to go pick up crap like this? This is what you find at like Salvation Army.
So we're still in our pursuit of all of the Outlaw sports games. This is Outlaw Volleyball Red Hot, which was a Blockbuster exclusive. And you would think a Blockbuster exclusive would be very expensive, but it's just $10. I guess they sold a lot of copies of this, but This is one of the last two I think we need. We grabbed that for $8. It's like $1 and $2 off of the games here and there, and that's fine. We're going for cheap games for now.
Now I am trying to finish the Xbox Outlaw Sports set. And I did grab Outlaw Volleyball Red Hot, and it is a Blockbuster exclusive. It says it right there. I don't know if this is any good. I don't know if any of these games are any good, but you know what the back, I mean, look at the back of it. And I'm realizing now my freaking camera is like, it's still set to where it was at the convention. There we go. Is that better? It's brighter now, right? It's brighter. It looks better. Okay, we're not going back and refilming it. It's 10 o'clock at night. I'm just barely over my illness. I'm not even really over it yet. We're just gonna roll with it, man. This is a disaster. Let's embrace the flipping disaster. Let's keep going.
Well, we have one of the few NES games we still need. This game was $100 like at the last convention we went to, and they've got it right back there for $59.85. I don't understand why that's so cheap, but I know the guy that runs the booth. It's Andy, Pac-Man Case. So I'm gonna see if he'll make a deal on this. They wouldn't do 50, but they did 53. I don't know why that game was so cheap. I've seen it around at several of the booths this morning. It's like $75, $80, $90, but that's like half off. I was gonna pay $99 for it for years.
All right, so this is actually a crazy deal. G.I. Joe on the NES really does go for like 85, 90 bucks or so. So to grab it for 53 is pretty incredible. I held it up here, I'm like, whoa, 53 bucks. I'm looking at the back of the cart and I'm realizing why it was 53 bucks. Look at that. Brown and dirty. But I think I can replace, I mean, look at the top of that. It's like nicotine. That's straight up nicotine. That was sitting in like somebody's storage thing and they just straight up left it in there for like 30 years and smoked around it. I didn't notice this freaking crap when I bought it. No idea. I was like, why is it so cheap? That's why it's so cheap.
We did it. We found the game we've been looking for the last 3 conventions. Irritating Stick. The game nobody ever talks about or knows, but it's a pretty fun arcade style game. It's a ripoff of a Neo Geo game. They've got it for 40. I'm gonna make them an offer on it, see what they say. Well, they accepted my offer of $35.
I'm thrilled about finding Irritating Stick for $35. That's the retail price. That's what I was willing to pay, but I have never seen this game in real life other than a sealed copy. Someone tried to sell me for like 60 bucks. But this is like the game Operation. They're like little mazes on the screen and you have to steer this stick through them without hitting the walls. If you hit the walls, you fail. It is very irritating and it's a lot of fun, but it is way super hard.
We found another game we've been unable to find. It's like a $10, $15 game called Hybrid Heaven. You guys have told me this is a pretty good like survival horror Resident Evil style game on the N64. I thought I was done with the N64, but we'll make them an offer on this. 12 bucks, they had 15 on it. I think 12 was fair. That's the going rate on it. So happy with that. I'm looking forward to playing this one. I haven't played an N64 game in a long, long time.
12 bucks, 12 bucks. Can't complain about that. I ended up buying, I think, a lot of games you guys recommended because I'm looking over at them and I was like, I remember people commenting me about those. So as I've been watching these clips, and you've been watching them too, I've noticed that I have cut out all of the negotiating with the vendors. Usually when I do convention videos, it's just like me negotiating. But after the backlash I got, it's secret castle. Everybody's like, I can't believe you haggled with that guy. You were so mean. He gave me like $7 off. I just decided, I guess, to cut that out and not do it. Nobody cares anyway, like the negotiation part of it. That's fine. You don't need to see that. You saw the price and then you saw how much I paid for it. You don't really see how much I paid for it. You have to take my word for it. That's why I was left in the negotiations, because I was afraid people wouldn't believe me. But you guys believe me, right? I wouldn't lie about paying $3 less for a game.
Yet another Wii game you guys have recommended. I'm excited to try this one. I didn't know this game existed, but it's Little King's Story. Looks like kind of a strategy game where you expand your kingdom. I know that's what it said on the box, but take over other areas. I like those kind of games. I don't think I've ever played one on the Wii before. I don't know there are any on the Wii.
This is one I picked up, Little King's Story, just completely on a recommendation. Some people in my Wii collection video told me I should get it. I remembered it somehow, although I didn't have it on my list, and I grabbed it for 25. So thanks for recommending that. I'll put it in the backlog.
Someone just called me and told me there's some Neo Geo MVS stuff around. So I'm gonna go see if I can find that. Well, we found some Neo Geo MVS stuff. We found Top Players Golf, and we found Marvel vs. Capcom SNK Chaos, right, SVC Chaos, that's it. And they're untested. They go for, you know, 150 bucks a piece sometimes. I don't know. I offered him 100 bucks for both, and he took it. So hopefully they work. We're upset if they don't. But it's Neo Geo stuff. You don't really complain when you see it.
All right, this next pickup is actually freaking crazy. I was wandering around in the back of the convention center, and my buddy Bucky called me on the phone and told me someone had some MVS stuff. He asked me if I wanted Metal Slug 2, and I didn't. He said, we also has these two games. Both of these games were on my list to pick up. Now, he had them at $64 and $74. These are nonsense prices. These are not anything prices. Top Players Golf, which is the game that came out before Neo Turf Masters. Neo Turf Masters is the best golf game of all time. It's the sequel to this game. This game goes for about $90. I don't think anybody would have faked this, although these Neo Geo carts are often counterfeit. Or they're like board swaps, where someone takes a chip off a broken board and throws it on another cart, you know, and flashes it over. No one's gonna do that with Top Player Golf. This is real. I paid $50 for it. But this other game is SNK versus Capcom SVC Chaos. I can't tell if it's real or not, or if it's a board swap, or if it's a reshill. This came out in 2003. The MVS guys was supported for like almost 20 years. These later boards, they wouldn't put them in clear things and they wouldn't stamp the serial number, so who knows? This game goes for like 350 bucks, loose, like this, if it's real. I paid 50 for it. I hope it's real. But even if it's counterfeit it would go for like 200. So 50 bucks for that. If someone faked that, kudos to them. Happy to have it for 50.
All right, we have a sequel to a really classic PC adventure game called The Neverhood. The sequel came out on the PlayStation 1. It was a side scroller and it's called Skull Monkeys. It has this neat lenticular cover. At SEGE a couple years ago, this was about a $110 game. They've got it at 80. Let's make them an offer on it. Would you do 65?
Yep.
All right.
Easy peasy.
That was easy.
Now this is the kind of pickup you go to a convention to get. Skull Monkeys. This game was $100, upwards of $120 a year ago. The Neverhood was one of my favorite adventure games of all time. I wish I owned a copy of it, but I'm so happy to have this. And I think I've only played it once or twice. I rented it years and years and years ago. It has minimal cracking on the cover, and it's a lenticular cover, and the cover is plastic. So this is a proprietary cover. If it's cracked, it's just cracked. It's custom. Sorry, but happy to have it.
All right, we're grabbing even more games you guys have recommended. That's what this video has turned into. We grabbed Fear Effect 2, The Conduit, Reload, and then Deadly Creatures. We paid $80 for all that, which seems like a good price. Fear Effect is missing the manual, but that made it like half price, so I can live with that. I can live with that.
Now this is another pretty decent deal, and these are all games that were recommended to me. We grabbed Fear Effect. It is missing the manual, but like I said, I grabbed it for, I don't know, 50 bucks or whatever it was. The Conduit on the Wii, people had recommended that in the Wii video. This is another one of those rail shooters, Reload. And then Deadly Creatures, which is like a bug fighting game.
So this freaking convention is huge. I mean, gigantic. I've been walking around for like 2 hours, and I have only seen this row behind me. That's as far as I've made it. I went down one of these rows, but like way back over in there and like ahead of me, I've covered in 2 hours, I bet 20% of this convention, and found like almost everything I'm looking for. It's a lot. This is a big convention. It is huge.
Now this clip is interesting. I mentioned that I had walked around for 2 hours. That's true. I mean, I got there well before the convention started because I was a special guest. Congratulations me. I got there early. He was making deals. I know it's unfair. Am I just not gonna do it? I know it's like a salary where they pay you too much. You're like, that's not fair. I'm not gonna take it because like it's not fair to everybody else. Of course you're gonna take it. Of course I got there early and started shopping before everybody else. All the other content creators were, and the vendors have been buying and selling for like a day. They had already done a bunch of deals. I saw some guy had bought $10,000 worth of stuff the day before the event. So that's just the way it go. It's just the way it go. But this convention was bigger than it's ever been before, and it was very spread out. There were more vendors, but the space was like 50% bigger. It was just a lot of walking, and I did walk a super far way. And I think that walking is what ended up leading me to having a physical breakdown, which is what's gonna happen later in this video. So keep watching if you wanna see old RNG literally fall apart.
Dude, we're just finding everything you guys have recommended. Here's Pirates of Plundar. This, I think, is a lot like Castle Crashers. It's a 4-player beat 'em up with really cartoony graphics. This game used to be like kind of $30 or something. They have it for $5. That's awesome. Let's grab it.
Scott and Jen from Retro Rivals recommended this game, Pirates of Plundar. And I remember back when Castle Crashers was so popular on the Xbox 360, this game was very similar to it. And I remember for a fact that this game at the time was $35, sometimes around $40. And it got so hard to find and so expensive, I took it off my wish list. So to find it for $5, man, I mean, it's not made by the behemoth, but it looks like Castle Crashers. I believe it plays just like it. So happy to have it.
So when this game came out, everybody thought it was terrible, and I'm sure it is, but it's kind of started gaining like hidden gem status. I don't get that, but it's Homefront on the PlayStation 3.
I mean, I remember when Homefront came out, like everybody was giving it mediocre reviews. Like nobody really cared. It was, you know, a flop. So if this has a decent campaign, I'll be happy with it. But I do love that artwork. That's some of the most memorable artwork I've ever seen on a game. So for $5. Around this time, I started feeling really lightheaded and not great. And I went and I sat down in the conference room where they give the big panel presentations. And I flippin' fell asleep for almost an hour. And when I woke up, I thought it might be kind of funny to film that and be like, hey, I fell asleep in the convention. It's whatever. That's what this footage is. It's not really me sleeping, of course. How would that ever happen? But I, honest to God, Scout's honor, fell asleep for like an hour in that room, and then I got up and filmed like 30 seconds of it. Also, looking at this clip, I realized I need to start working out again because I'm rocking the dad bod too hard. Too hard. I just ate a bowl of ice cream before finishing this video. But if I'd seen that footage first, I would not have eaten the whole bowl.
Well, we just ran into Gamer Aimer, and she gave me one of her NES sleeves and a sticker, very cool. And in the meantime, we found a booth that had a bunch of like expensive repros on the Genesis, Grindstormer, Musha, Veritex, and Undead line. Those games would be like $3 if you were to buy them. So for like $15, $16 for a repro, I'll give them a shot. Just to try them out. Seems like a steal even if they're not real, right?
Gamer Aimer was there. She's a good friend of mine. And I gave her a little RNG Gamer promotional NES sleeve. She returned the favor. This is it. This is what I'm talking about. She gave me one of these, which is really nice of her. And I love the look of this. I put baseball stars in it. And here's what mine looks like if you've never seen it before. It's just my logo. It says just tap dodge on the back. I also got one from Drinking Games with Josh. These are really cool. All the content creators actually collect these from the other content creators. We all have mini collections of them. But right across from that was this guy selling, I mean, he had a normal booth, but he had these repros. That's Musha Aleste. That's the Japanese Musha. I mean, it's still a few $100s. Repro, $3. Grindstormer repro, $3. Like that's a couple $100 game. Undead line for $5 in a physical case, that's like $1,000 game. And then Veritex, I don't know how much that is, but it's expensive too, for another $5. He did 15 on all of these. I mean, I had these games kind of on my wish list, so I don't mind these sitting on the shelf until something better comes along or until I find the real thing.
We found the last Nerf game. Of course, the guy running the booth made fun of me for even pulling it out, but we're gonna grab it anyway.
But obviously I'm still an idiot and I picked up the other Nerf game. But I'm looking on the back of this dude, the freaking Nerf Wii gun adapter looks sweet. Like, it looks really cool. I want to get that Nerf adapter. Get it at 7, I paid 5. Okay, fine. Bad decisions all around. I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
I'm making terrible decisions. I feel so bad. That nap helped though. It didn't help enough. I need some rest.
All right, so right here's where the video starts falling apart. And why I have to do this video this way. I got lightheaded and started stumbling. Look how flushed I've been in this video. Look at me now compared to the way I looked in that video. I was burning up. I stumbled out into the parking lot of that convention center and Ubered. They picked me up sitting on the curb. And I went home, back to the hotel, crawled in bed, and proceeded to just sleep for a couple of hours. Now, a normal, sane person would have just stayed in bed the rest of the day. But for some reason, I was compelled to go back to the convention. And I felt like I felt better. But you can clearly hear in my voice in this next clip that I was not better. Listen to my voice in this clip.
Well, if I look a little bit different, it's because I went back to the hotel and took a nap for like 2.5 hours. So I feel a lot better. I was fading fast. I fell asleep in the car, on the Uber, on the way back to the hotel. Got a little bit of energy left. Let's head back to this convention and finish out the day the right way.
I sounded so bad. So bad.
So every time we stream, I forget to freaking press record. So Retrobeard made this for me. We're gonna set it right, stick it right on the monitor. We'll never forget again. Thank you so much, guys. Say hi, this is Retrobeard. Heather Ann, his wife. They run a really cool booth where they make awesome signs, things like this. But they are a mainstay at every convention. I get stuff from them all the time, and I love the things they're making right now. They're really cool. So thanks so much, Retrobeard, for this. I'll put it to good use.
So now I'll remember. And at the same time, I took the thumbnail picture of this video with Heather Ann. She had joked that she's in like the thumbnail of every video because every guy has a crush on her. So I might as well do a clickbaity thumbnail. She's a friend of mine. She wanted to be in the thumbnail. So that's what we're gonna do. No one's gonna watch this video. They never do. It's just the curse of being a collector that's primarily a gamer. Most of my viewers are gamers, not collectors, and they don't care about conventions. They just wanna know about the games.
Well, we just had an oh crap moment. They just announced that I'm doing a panel that I didn't know I was doing.
I was walking around with my friend Mike and they announced that there's gonna be a panel presentation with Arkansas Picker, RNG Gamer, Retro Gaming Pandemic, and Pac-Man Case. Like a month ago, I was talking in a group chat with these guys and Austin had asked me if I wanted to do a panel. I asked them if they needed anybody on their panel because maybe it would get me out of it. And they're like, yeah, you can do this panel with us. We're doing Nintendo oddities. And then they had so many people, I was like, I just don't want to do it. And they're like, okay, don't worry about it. But they had already submitted my name. So they announced me over the intercom. Anyway, I sat in the panel. I did not sit on the panel. I sat in the front row and just kind of like tried not to die. And I participated a little bit, but I was way out of it. So fortunately, I didn't have to participate in that panel, but I had to sit through 2 panels because right after it was Mort's panel. And it was interactive, and I was already front and center. I couldn't get up and leave for Mort's panel because Mort and I are friends too. So, oh man.
Thank God we didn't have to do the panel. They announced me, but they weren't expecting me to be there. So I'm thankful for that. But I did stay and listen. Let's see if we can find some more stuff before we go.
And obviously at this point, my voice is shot. Like shot beyond what one night of sleep is gonna fix. And you can hear it in day 2, and you can hear it now. My voice is still recovering. It's been a week. It sounds like a coffee can full of gravel.
Well, I think this is the game that's been on my wish list the longest of any game. I wanted to buy this when it came out on the PSP, and I remember passing on it at a yard sale for $5. I was like, I'll find it cheaper later. We found it here. They're gonna do it for $40. It's Jeanne d'Arc. This is a tactical RPG, I believe. It's the last PSP game I need, I think, once again. So we're gonna grab this one.
I did pass on this at a Goodwill for $6, shortly after the PSP had kind of like died down. At that time, $6 was more disposable income than I had. I couldn't even afford the $6. I was like in the thrift store looking for clothes that I needed to wear for work. That's how broke I was. So getting this was kind of like a bucket list game.
All right, one of the big heavy hitter shoot 'em ups on the Genesis that we've needed for years is Elemental Master. And that game, you see it from like 200 to 280. We found a copy here, missing the manual, but the copy's really clean for $150. Well, I'm thrilled with that. That's my favorite purchase of the day.
I had it at $240 on my wish list. That's what I would pay for it with the manual. And I would have paid about $180 for it without the manual. I know Zach, I know the store owner. I bought him ice cream, or he bought me ice cream and came and visited my house in my game room. I took him out to lunch, unrelated. So we're just buddies. So he just cut me a buddy deal. But let me show you how clean this cart is. It is like flawless. It looks almost brand new. Genesis carts get torn up real easy, and there's like acid in the label. So they like just degrade. They just start changing colors and looking all weird. Thanks for this, Zach. I appreciate it, brother. You know, I love how my battery died in that second clip and I didn't even flipping notice. I just didn't even notice. It just turned off. Real professional. Good job, mate. It gives like a big warning in the bottom left. Like, it's like, we're not receiving a signal. I was just like, whatever. Didn't know, whatever. I stare at myself. There's like the viewfinder is like right here. Okay, so it's like right there. I like want to look at myself, make sure I'm in frame. You know, that it looks good. That I'm standing somewhere normal, that like my head's not off the top of the camera or like my mouth's below it or something like that. But I did not manage to see the big red letters. There was like no signal in the bottom left. Sorry, that happens sometimes.
Well, we grabbed another heavy hitter, Mars Matrix. I've been looking for this on the Dreamcast forever. We did it at $140. He had it at $169.99, so $30 off. It's a fair deal.
Flippin' Mars Matrix. I have been looking for this shooter forever, and $140 is a killer deal. I had it at $175 is what I was willing to pay for it, and I've been seeing it around $165. That at $170, so $140 is a pretty good deal for cash. I remember watching Mark from Classic Game Room review this, and him talking about how many characters were in the score, and he said it's the distance from Earth to the sun in inches. The score in this is crazy. It's like trillions of points. It's just, it goes across like the entire top of the frame.
Well, we're trying to negotiate a deal on this Panzer Dragoon Saga and Pop Full Mail. He's got 1,200 on this, 540 on this. He said he'd do both for $14.90. I don't know where that price came from, but I don't know if that's a good deal or not. When you get up to stuff that high, it's hard to estimate what it's worth. In my mind, Panzer Dragoon is worth $1,000. The Pop Full Mail is worth like $400. I passed on a copy of it at $400 not that long ago. So this is troubling. I'll think about it. We won't bite the bullet right now. We'll wait and see.
All right, so this almost happened. I actually almost bit the bullet on Panzer Dragoon Saga and Pop Full Mail. I actually want Pop Full Mail more than Panzer Dragoon Saga, and he's bringing Panzer Dragoon Saga down to a reasonable level, but I thought that Pop Full Mail was a little high. Even if you dropped like $100 more off Panzer Dragoon Saga and kept Pop Full Mail at the same price, I was like, no. They need to both come down. Neither one of those games was really on my list. They're like holy grail games that I do want, but I didn't specifically have them on my wish list. And I was trying to stick to my wish list, more or less. But I've added Pop Full Mail onto my wish list. Panzer Dragoon, I don't know. Also, Saturn Steve has claimed that he is going to sell me one of his copies. So we'll see if that ever happens.
Found a Sega Master System game we've been looking for. I didn't think we'd ever see it. I've never seen a copy. It's Kinsaiden maybe. I heard it's one of the best games on the Master System. They had it at 40. I offered 30. We came in the middle, 35. That's what my buy list price was at. So glad to have that one too. I'm knocking more games off my wish list today than I ever have at any convention.
And Kinsaiden, whatever it is, this was the only Sega Master System game I had on my list. It's been on my list so long I can't even remember why I put it on there, but I'm happy to have a Sega Master System game. There's a whole bunch of Sega stuff at the end of this video. I just want a Sega kick. That's awesome, dude. I love Sega.
We're hitting out a bunch of Sega stuff. We found a Sega CD game, another shoot 'em up, Android Assault. I had my buy list at this at 130. They had it at 115 and they did it for 95 cash. 95 cash is a good deal on that. Really good deal.
But Android Assault, man, this is a shoot 'em up on the freaking Sega CD. Love collecting for the Sega CD. Happy to find this one. The guy that ran the booth where I got this was really, really nice. I mean, it looks almost brand new. So thanks for that.
Well, that's day one of SEGE in the books. It was a hard day, obviously. I'm going back to the hotel room to go back to sleep. But we did find some good stuff. Tomorrow, next week for you guys, or maybe not next week.
So that's where the freaking video ends. There's just no more footage. I just didn't film an outro. I didn't film like anything else about what was going on. There was a couple of hours left. I just like sat down or I walked around. I don't remember what happened. I just walked out of the front of the convention center and it felt like it was 1,000 degrees. And I got in an Uber with Retro Cart Collector, who was my roommate in the hotel, and we went back, and according to him, I literally just crawled directly into bed, like keys in my pocket. I think I took off my shoes, but I had like my badge that they gave me, all my clothes on, button-down shirt, undershirt, blue jeans, belt, everything. I crawled into bed and I slept 13 hours straight. It's fun to see where I picked up these games because I pulled them out of the bag and set them on the ottoman over there and was just like, what the crap is this? Why did I buy this stuff? If you liked the video, and I hope you did, these videos, like I said, they used to be what I did on this channel, but my channel's kind of pivoted more to talking about the games rather than buying the games. Please do that right there. Subscribe, like the video, leave me a comment. I answer every single comment. Those are the best ways to help me. But if you want to do a little bit more, you can always become a channel member or a Patreon supporter. The link to that is in the description down below, along with an Amazon affiliate link. If you want to use that affiliate link, you can buy whatever you want and I'll get a little bit of money back to help out with my channel. And if you want to become a channel member or a Patreon supporter, you can do it for as little as 99 cents a month. You get access to the videos early, you get access to member exclusive videos. There's a whole bunch of different things you can do in the different tiers. And I love and really appreciate every one of you, but especially my channel members and Patreon supporters. They really help out with all this. Said every dollar goes right back into this channel. So thank you so much, guys. You can see the names of those supporters on the screen right now. If you'd like to see a video where I go to another convention where I have to do a bunch of dares, like a shot of hot sauce, or wearing my clothes backwards, or eating a whole freaking head of lettuce, you can do that by clicking the video right here. It's a really fun video. YouTube would probably think you'd really like it. I think you'd like it. You should definitely go check it out.